be live here in just a second. Looks like we're good. All right. It says we're all good and live. Let's go to news, latest. All right, there we go. Rid of that. All righty. We'll see if anybody shows up tonight. You can only be so helpful. All right, there we go. I got my chat up finally. What's up, Fernando? And we got at least 2 people in here. That's pretty crazy. That's big numbers. Killing the game, killing the game. Yeah, I don't really expect there to be a lot of people here tonight, Fernando. This is a pretty weird night. The night before Thanksgiving. A lot of people black out on Thanksgiving night. It's a blackout party night for a lot of people. They're out at the bars with their college or with their high school friends, you know, visiting home. I almost wish Brady would come out wearing a Raiders uniform just as a joke. It would be really funny. Or just like wear a Raiders hat during like or like a Raiders tie or something. Just to kind of like subtly fuck with people. Be like, he can't do that. It would be funny. Yeah, so you know what's weird is, by the way, if you guys could leave some likes, we could really use it this stream. If you haven't already done so, definitely drop one. Yeah. Why is everybody pretending Daniel Jones is a good quarterback or like a project to be saved? It's like at best he's a halfway decent backup, kinda. I don't understand why a week ago, before the release, everybody was like very anti Daniel Jones. Everybody hated the guy. He was quite clearly the shittiest quarterback of all time. Everybody joked on the guy. He gets released, and now everyone's like, well, it wasn't his fault. It's like, nah. It was his fault. He's a bad quarterback. The Giants gave that man everything they could have to succeed. They gave him fucking Brian Dable. They're like, the Giants didn't help that guy succeed at all. Oh, really? You mean a throwing, running quarterback who created fucking Josh Allen wasn't enough? It's just like, really? Is that what we're all thinking here? Is that like the actual belief that the Giants didn't do enough by hiring a quarterback, like a guy who literally made Josh Allen? Like a guy who plays just kind of like Josh Allen, but really shitty. Then they drafted Malik Neighbors, Hyatt, fucking got him like everything, paid him $140 million, gave him good quarterback coaches. And that now we're just like, well, the organization failed Daniel Jones. No, they didn't. He's a bad quarterback. That's fine to say. It's just like, yeah, he's a shitty quarterback and maybe he'll be a good backup. People are like, Kevin O'Connell will save him. And it's like, what did Brian Dable do that was so bad? What's up, Jake? Yeah, I don't understand the Daniel Jones thing. Again, would it be funny if he was really good now that he was off the Giants? Oh yeah, that'll be hilarious. But the reality is, I only joked about Daniel Jones being a good quarterback because of my disdain for the New York Giants organization. I hate them motherfuckers. I hope they do another dumb thing and get another bad quarterback. But it's almost the end of the decade. The Giants haven't won a Super Bowl yet. That means in the next 6 years, they will win one, by the way. Don't know how they're going to pull it off. But if history has anything to show for it, the Giants literally do win a Super Bowl about once every 10 years. Sometime in that 10-year run. They won one in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. Isn't that wild? They still got 6 years for this fucking decade to pull off their 5th win. So we'll see if they can get there. It seems so hard because it looks like the Chiefs Then you've got all those other AFC teams like the Bills, the Ravens, the Texans maybe in a couple years, the Chargers maybe if they get their head out of their ass. Then you look at the AFC, the NFC. Of course, the Lions look like a potential dynasty if they can start winning. Yeah, they could get a quarterback. Shadur Sanders is probably a guy because I could imagine, the Giants are a good market to send a quarterback to. You almost have to wonder if they're gonna wait it out and try to get fucking Arch Manning. Because you know that Arch is going to want to go to the Giants. The family's going to want to put him in Indianapolis or New York. Maybe Denver. But see, Bo Nix is the problem there. Again, if you guys think some of these other players who have been divas are really bad, just wait until we get the modern version of what fucking Peyton and Eli did. Oh boy, this is going to get ugly with these teams. If you think whatever the hell Marvin Harrison was doing or whatever annoying shit that you think Shadur Sanders and Travis Hunter are going to try to pull off, make sure we keep the exact same energy toward the Manning family when they pull whatever fucking crazy shenanigans they're going to pull again. The trade down from number 2 would be a filthy about of picks. Yeah, I think, Mike, our team's probably trading down. A lot of people think the Patriots are like going for a wide receiver. What's up, Lord? You're not doing well? I'm sorry, man. I hope you feel better. I found an interesting graph today. Do you guys want to see an interesting graph? Do you guys like interesting graphs? By the way, make sure you guys drop likes up stream out. We're doing pretty good. Could always use more help. I thought this was an interesting graph. What this shows is pass protection ratings composite. It shows the best lines in football. Anything stand out to you? Wow, the Broncos have had almost a perfect line this year, similar to the Packers. They've done very good. The Buccaneers, the Chiefs. All right, what's up, Kenny? Nice, Kenny, good job. You're rebuilding the Penn State. Let's go look at some of these bottom teams, though. I think that's where most of our interest should lie. The Patriots got a 4 out of 100. All right. A 0. A 0. And a 2 overall. The Broncos got a 99. The Lions got a 58 at 16. And then the Patriots got a 32 at 0. So when you wonder what the problem is for certain teams, you could start to look at graphs like this, right? It's like, what the hell? That doesn't even feel possible, does it? To be that bad. We don't even get rankings from 2 of the other people who keep track of offensive line stuff. They're just like, nah, 0. They're just like, you know what? It's so bad. PFF is being generous because I think they like Cole and the center we have. They're like, well, they got a good center. Yeah, it goes from 14, 13 to 2. Do you see how crazy? Like the rest of it's a pretty gradual. Like it goes in half from the Rams too. To be fair, anything under the Rams is a crazy drop off. Everything else is very gradual. But then you get to that Rams drop off to the Saints. Saints, Titans, and Patriots are in no business to not be drafting tackles this year in the draft. By the way, if you're one of those 3 teams and you don't take offensive linemen, your team sucks. And that's my team too, by the way. If we don't take a fucking tackle, a big old tackle, even if we swing and miss on the guy, take him. Because it can't be much worse than what we got. Like, if we take the guy that we're supposed to take, that's a good tackle, fucking good lineman, no one can really say shit. Yeah. And then you go sign T. Higgins in the offseason. You have a whole bunch of moves you can make. But to be fair, is it possible that Daniel Jones is the GOAT? And we just don't know it yet? But would that be hilarious, though? If Daniel Jones next season is like Geno Smith, I'd be like, damn, dude. The Giants really did fuck that guy over. That's pretty brutal. Or the funniest thing is the Vikings are the 2017 Eagles, right? I think so too, John. We can talk about that in a sec. But I want to kind of finish this. Imagine the Vikings, like Sam Darnold suffers a torn ACL. Let's hope not, right? But for the sake of this, he suffers one. And then comes Daniel Jones, the backup. And he leads the Giants to a terrible finish to the regular season. Barely makes it through playoff games, but he's winning them somehow. It's like, what the fuck? They upset the Lions in the NFC Championship game. Even crazier. And then Daniel Jones wins the Super Bowl versus Patrick Mahomes. Tell me that wouldn't be the funniest fucking thing in the world. 1. 2. We'd finally have a situation where Tom doesn't have to get made fun of for losing to Nick Foles. That would be dead. And Mahomes can never pass Tom Brady because, look who we just lost to Super Bowl to. That's the only way I'm fine with the Lions not winning the Super Bowl is if Daniel Jones and the Minnesota Vikings win it. Everything else, I'm kind of not going to be very happy with. I'm going to be like, ugh. Yeah, it is, Kenny. You guys got to play the Dolphins, and they've been good lately. Trap game? You think Buffalo's in a trap game? Why so? NFC? Yeah, the NFC West is interesting because you have basically every team fighting for it right here. Yeah, every team's in this shit. 6-5, 6-5, 5-6, 5-6. A good week. This is completely different looking. Like literally, this could all be 6-6 this week. Which is wild to think about. This is a fun division. Being a lifelong Hawks fan, Gino plus Largent would love to see that. It would probably be pretty cool to see Gino with a guy like that. Gino's been really cool to watch. I'm glad he's the face of like the second coming of a second chance a quarterback should get. He's quite earned that. But yeah, this division is going to be fun to watch play out. It's like if only the Bears weren't shitty, the NFC North would be the funnest thing to watch ever. It's like, damn. But the honest thing is like, never mind. The Lions are an outlier. I don't know why I was about to do that to myself. I was like, well, the thing is, the Lions. Do you guys want to hear some crazy shit? All right, Seattle's their division leader at 6-5, and they have a net of 2 points on the season. Cardinals have a net of 8, 0, and negative 43 for the Rams. Just kind of keep these in mind, right? The Panthers are in 4th place, minus 146. They've been outscored by 146 points. The Saints are at 2. The Buccaneers are at 36, and they're in 2nd place. And the Falcons are at 6-5, and they have a net of 30 on the year. The Bears have 4 at 4-7. That's pretty good. They're scoring more than they've been scored on. The Packers have a net of 65, which is pretty solid at 8-3. You'd expect that, right? You'd expect it to be getting up there. The Vikings have a 9-2 record with a 77 net points. Detroit Lions are 10-1. They have a net points of 177. So, however you want to consider that, they've scored about 100 more points than Minnesota this year. However you want to think about that, and then negative 89 for the Giants, negative 98 for the Cowboys, 57 for the Commanders, 97 for the Eagles. I'm only going to do the division leaders. The Chiefs have 52. The Texans have 17. The Ravens and Steelers have 70 and 60 respectively. And the Bills have 106. Lions feel like a broken ass unfair team, dude. That seems almost impossible to see somebody be like, yeah, so how you guys doing? Oh, you scored 360, right? Sure, you've only given up 177 or 183, one of the lowest in the league. I think it is the lowest, actually. Hold on, let me see. 183. Los Angeles has only given up 175. But yeah, the Lions have the second least amount of points allowed this year. No, I'm not really probably cooking anything tomorrow. Trap game. But yeah, if you're still here, Sentinel, why are we thinking tomorrow is a trap game for Buffalo? They're playing, or not tomorrow, but Sunday. They're playing the 49ers. Like, do you really think they're looking past the 49ers to the Patriots? I would, you know what I actually think the trap game for Buffalo is? Oh, wait, do they play the Lions next week? Hold on a second. They might play Detroit in week 14, and I might be off a week. Hold on, let me see something. Because again, I know Buffalo, yeah, they should be able to win that game, but it depends on, they could be looking ahead. They have a tendency to shit around on like that. Oh, they don't even play next week. No, they do. They play the Rams, so I feel like the Rams is more of a trap game because after week 14, Buffalo plays the Lions. Yeah. I would say there is a trap game for Buffalo, but it's the Rams game next week. Because again, they play the Rams, they play the Lions the following week. They might, and it's in Detroit. So again, looking ahead, thinking ahead, having to go on the road to Detroit, that's going to suck ass for them because that's a hard place to play. Detroit's really tough to play in Detroit. So that'll be interesting. And then they possibly could get, I think they might split with, I think the Patriots are going to win one more game and they're probably going to upset Buffalo somehow. And it'll be, you know how, because there's, I don't know how much you guys know about Buffalo, the Bills. They always lose a game to a dog shit ass team every year. And there's not much it happens every year. Try to tell me I'm wrong. One game a year, Buffalo typically will just get their ass pushed in by a bad team. It's like they'll lose like 21-6. And just like, well, that didn't go the way we thought it was going to. They kind of look past opponents. They tend to do that, which is why I don't disagree with the trap game. However, I think it's more likely because they're playing two shitty teams in a row, they're going to overlook the Rams next week. You think you guys are going to lose tomorrow, Kenny? Dolphins aren't very good outside. Is it cold out tomorrow in Green Bay? Because that's a big factor in that game. If it's like clear and just like 40 degrees, that won't affect the Dolphins. But if it's like fucking 31 degrees or something and 30, like a little under 30 degrees or right around there, they might get fucked up. Yeah, I don't think so. I think the Hawks are gonna beat the dog shit out of the Jets. Yeah, I would be a little worried about the Dolphins, Kenny. Their offense is very good right now, and I'm a begrudging person who doesn't really like to give the Jets any credit about anything. Their offense looks a lot better than usual because again, they're not just spamming it to Tyreek Hill. It's gonna be about 18 with the wind chill. So it's going to be like 18 degrees at kickoff. You guys are going to win then. Congrats. You guys want to talk shit about Fernando? I think he left the stream. Like, I'm pretty sure now we can talk about him like we usually do. All right, that guy a bitch. His dog a bitch. His other dog a bitch. His one dog is cool though. I'm not technically wrong. I think he's got 2 girl dogs and a male dog. Male dogs are called cool. It's a breeding term. As someone who's never been a dog breeder, I know these things. How do I know these things? I don't have to tell you. Both of them. I don't really consider that Giants-Cowboys game a game. So there's only really 2 games tomorrow evening. Tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, rather. And hopefully we watch the Green Bay Packers. See, this is a win-win for me tomorrow. The more I think about this. Am I seeing that right? Mine? Do they have an error on this? Yeah, they do. What the hell? Who's mine? You guys seeing this, right? At the top of the screen? The word mine, Green Bay. Yeah, we'll see with Michael Penix. But yeah, this game, the Packers or the Bears Lions, which could be interesting because the Lions are missing a key couple players in that game again. And the Mine Dolphins and the Green Bay Packers play. I think that's hilarious that there's a mistake. I think Fernando would have wrote that shit, dude. That guy can't spell Miami. He was close. He almost got it. He's only off by most of the letters. So like 50%. Yeah, it should be a fun little day tomorrow, I'm guessing. Hopefully the games are pretty good. I don't really expect... I don't know. I don't know if Caleb... They're trying to say Caleb Williams took off, but it's like, I don't know. He's lost most of the games he's played lately. He's kind of seeming to gone into a regression already. I don't know. I guess we'll see how he does tomorrow. The Lions will probably be able to take advantage of the fact that he holds on to the ball very often. Again, that's a team that gets a lot of pressure. If you let yourself kind of get pressured like that, you're going to be... It could be a nightmare start for Caleb tomorrow with the way the Lions play defense. That's a tough deal for a rookie quarterback to have to kind of comprehend, not make mistakes, hungry secondary. Though they're going to be without Carlton Davis, but they have Terrion Arnold back, so that's good for Detroit. They also don't have Taylor Decker, so that could be a problem, but they've been able to adapt without him at times. Could help the Bears, though. That's definitely not news you want to hear if you're a Lions fan. I don't think so. The game that was interesting was the one that was in Vegas, right? Because the Raiders almost get the big upset. They come really close. And the only way that upset was actually like going to take place and materialize, it seems like it was going to happen in Vegas. I don't know if the Raiders at their current constitution are going to put up much of a fight. I want them to win. Trust me, I'd love to see Kansas City just kind of bottom out here, miss the playoffs somehow. That shit would be so funny. Be like, well, I shouldn't have predicted what I predicted last year. Damn, J.K. Dobbins got hurt again. That's super unfortunate. That guy cannot stay healthy. What the fuck? What just happened? Anyway. But yeah, it should be... I hope it's a good game. I hope the Raiders can steal a game from them. Because again, it would be very funny just to see them kind of like start to slip out of the 2 seed. Because I think if they lose... somehow, right? Like in a crazed upset, I think Buffalo takes the 1 seed. Who knows? It's just magic. I don't, again, in my humble opinion, like last year you could kind of see like, oh fuck, they're gonna be okay, that's a problem. This year it doesn't have the same feel to it. Again, they got to a 9-0 record or whatever they got to, basically because they were playing some shit dog ass teams that just didn't want to take the wins they were being given. Like genuinely, go watch some of them games. It'd be like the Chiefs would just magically win the game at the end. Yeah, Mike, I feel similar, right? Like, I don't know why Buffalo did what they did to the Patriots fans. They could have had such a fun ally with us. And you know what they got, Mike? They got their karma for what they did. Like, huh, wonder why you guys, the football gods, decided to spite you fucking idiots. After we sat there, we told everyone how much the Jets sucked. how much the Dolphins are going to suck, how much we defended them and told everybody, despite getting laughed at, because we were telling everybody. I had to take a little extra telling too, but like about what, like 4 games into year 3, we all went, oh, the Bills are taking this division. This is their division to take now. Like every single Patriots fan, almost in simpatico, all agreed, like, all right, we're gonna root for Buffalo to do this because 1, fuck the Jets, and fuck the Dolphins. We didn't really hate Buffalo. We don't know what the hell happened. We figured they were the only ones that weren't really butthole hurt about the whole, all the winning for the last 20 years or so. Apparently, they were really mad. They betrayed us. Now their fate is losing the Super Bowl to the Lions this year. So that's just kind of how that plays out. And then their team fractures. Oh, well. We get to watch the Lions become the most evil fucking fan base in all of sports. Yeah, Buffalo attacking us is basically the reason the Lions have become a dynasty, or on the precipice of what they're on. Boy, man, I really need to see that happen. You know how funny that would be for just me personally to see the Lions be the reason the Bills lose another Super Bowl? And the Lions are setting themselves up to be the worst villains in this league. They blow teams out just like the Patriots used to. That they have it. They literally tell people, if you don't like us doing this, then play better football. And I'm like, that could have just, they stole that from the Patriots. They already got, like, they talk about how their goal is to win the Super Bowl openly, how like they don't care about anything but that. I'm like, man, those are the things I used to hear from the New England Patriots. It's like they're the one team that heard the Patriots and went, one day that'll be us. And by the way, the reason Lions fans are so uniquely set up to be like the next bad guys in the NFL, like the actual like good fun villains, unlike the Kansas City Chiefs who cry about everything, and literally like they literally like oh my god, dude, like they don't know how to be like the bad guys. Like they like some of their fan base gets it, and some of them, and like most of them don't. You know what I mean? They have this weird inability to like there's like a small handful that know what they're supposed to be doing as like the villains of the NFL. They'll just be like, I guess we're just, oh my god, we're gonna lose it. Like some of them are really funny. Like, right, okay, that's a good one. But like some of them genuinely, like they're like, I can't believe we're pulling this off. And it like there's no, they're afraid. They have, if you beat them, they don't just sulk into the shadows and go, we'll get you motherfuckers in the playoffs, we don't care. They genuinely like don't know how to handle like being disliked. I think that's the issue. If you lose, you can't make excuses as the bad guy. That's the fun of beating the bad guy. You go, god damn it, and you can't make an excuse. One thing you could say about when the Patriots were the bad guys for 20 years, you didn't really hear Patriots fans go, we only lost because of XYZ. Patriots fans just go, yeah, we lost that Super Bowl to the Giants. We don't even know how Eli Manning. If the one guy would have jumped and caught if Asante Samuel could catch an interception, we would have won that fucking game. Like, what we're pissed about is the play of the, like, a thing we did. Like, we made a mistake, and that's what we're most mad about, the undefeated Super Bowl. That's it. We don't care about any calls made in that game. We don't care about the thing that makes us most mad is Asante Samuel bitch ass. That's it. You don't hear people making excuses. We lost that Super Bowl because fucking Asante made a shit ass drop on a pick. Had he picked that, game over. That drive that Eli has is over. He doesn't have the miracle break tackle, throw the ball a mile down the field, helmet catch. That's why I hate drop picks. I literally, every time I see a drop pick, I think somebody's going to score a touchdown. I'm like, oh no, why did he drop that pick? Now it's going to be a 600-yard play. I have PTSD when I see a drop pick. I go, oh no. I know this is off topic. If Alabama gets in the college football playoff with 3 losses, yeah, I don't know. I don't understand college football. Like, they don't. Like, yeah, I don't. That's why I don't watch college football. It's like shit like that. It's like, wait, what do you mean a 3-loss team is in the top 15? Shouldn't they be unranked? In my life, when I used to even pay attention to that shit, if you lost 3 games, you basically should just end the season. Like, you should be like, hey, we're done. Our seniors are going to sit it out. They're going to work out and shit and maybe get some like game reps. But our season's cooked. We're probably going to play some young guys here, fuck it. No, they Lions fans actually don't need to learn how to be the villain. What's up, Spears? Uniquely, they're good to go. You're a college football fan, right? John, based on what you're talking about. What is the general consensus on the fans who root for the University of Michigan? What do we think of them people? Again, I'm a Michigan State guy, so I fucking hate the Spartans. Or the Wolverines. I think they're the most obnoxious motherfuckers that have ever existed. They're pretentious. They're proud of their cheating bullshit ways. They paid fucking $14 million to get the best player to come to their college because they got more money than everybody, and the richest people in the world fucking all went to Michigan. They're an annoying fan base. They're kind of the villains of college football, aren't they? Everybody hates them motherfuckers. When Michigan loses, people celebrate on Twitter. I'm like, huh. Michigan really is the bad guys, aren't they? They're sort of the unofficial, kind of just like weird demons of the college football landscape, it feels like. Doesn't seem like anybody likes them. And again, they have a massive University of... Oh, okay. So are you not too sure about what goes on with the Michigan fans? I think the Lions are in TE all shucks phase, one Super Bowl or title game appearance, and they will turn. Oh yeah, no, it's going to be brutal with their fans. They're going to be talking crazy shit to people, Mike. They're already, Mike, the shit they're going to say to people, because like people already hate them now. Hold on, let me find something. You guys want to know what I'm talking about? Let me show you something. I think this is worth a funny laugh. Okay, this is what I was looking for. So the Lions posted this after they beat the Colts. They just shit post nowadays. Just a small thing, and then there's an L. Josh, no touchdowns. L. Posting him losing, and just a whole bunch of fun shit. They talk a lot of shit, right? And then you see people commenting, this was completely unnecessary. So we acting like the refs wasn't cheating for you the whole game. This is brutal. Social classless from a team that hasn't won any Super Bowls. Y'all never gonna win a Super Bowl. What did we do to you guys? I'm telling you, the Lions are just mean. They have no need to kick us that bad. What the fuck we do? Enjoy y'all's crime rates. I'm telling you, this team is uniquely setting themselves up to just be like the evil bad guys for some reason, and they don't care. I think it's the what's up, Jonathan? Huskies lost to the Wolverines last year in the national championship is still beyond me. That's what I mean, dude. And then you got to deal with their fan base. They're fucking. Oh, so yeah, you hate the fan base. Yeah, they're bad guys. That's what the University of Michigan fans are. And they're the same fans. The people who root for that Michigan Wolverines team all root for the fucking Lions. They love the Detroit Lions a little bit less than they love the Michigan Wolverines. It's like it's 1A, 1B. You know what I mean? Like Lions are B, Wolverines A. But if the Lions can win one Super Bowl, that's the most beloved team in the state. Not even close. I'm telling you, they'll build statues of these fucking dudes. They win one Super Bowl. In 2 years, there will be a Dan Campbell statue up. Think I'm kidding? It'll probably be one standing right next to Jared Goff. I'm telling you, it's not. It's going to be very, very quick how that will happen. By the way, it won't be like a retirement issue too. It'll be like, put it up now. Yeah, it'll just be the three of them, and we'll be like, that's the fucking golden ticket outside of fucking Ford Field, boys. It might be within the offseason, Mike. They'll probably put one up pretty quick. Oh, they'll hang that banner too, and like they won't even wait for the season to start. They bet, can we do the banner raising like today? Like at the parade? That would be one of the funniest, dude. Damn it, dude. The fact that this is like a reality that could happen. Yeah, they'll have just some fan that just brings up a fucking statue. They're like, I was already halfway done with it. Just in case we won this year, I made one. So, and everyone in Detroit will be like, that works for now. Just put it up there. And then it'll be one of them weird things in Detroit where it's like standing outside the stadium, but like no one fucks with it. But it's like clearly some guy just put it up there, and every time they try to remove it, it's just like people get really aggressive about like, don't touch the statue, motherfucker. And they're like, it's just better if we leave that thing out there till we get a real statue. It'll be the way it'll work is like it'll become some weird issue for the city, so they'll have to like ask the Lions to just make one really quick, so they can like hard put it into the ground somewhere so people aren't fucking with shit and making a mess. We sit in a weird time in the NFL. We sit in the middle at the end of a dynasty. No offense to the Kansas City Chiefs. I just don't think they're going to win a bunch more Super Bowls. It's this year and then they're finished. Like it's not even a shot at KC. It's just like like, you know, it's they're gonna fit. The injuries are starting to pile up. Players are going to start retiring. Have to remember a lot of their players are a little elderly. Chris Jones is going to be in his 30s now. As a defensive end, that's older. Travis Kelce's very close to looking like he's going to retire. He's 35, 36 years old. Hell, even Mahomes is going to be entering year 8 next year. And again, he's hinted that he's not playing that long. Like, am I right about this? Like, hasn't Mahomes kind of outright stated that he's not playing as long as Tom did? Something tells me whenever, I think he's got a son now. Like, I just have a very strong memory of Mahomes. And this isn't a shot at him, by the way. I think he mentioned that he just doesn't want to play that long. Because again, I think his family is far more important to him than Tom's. Well, being there in his. I don't know how to phrase it. I could see him though, retiring a little earlier than you might think, because again, I feel like family is more important than football is, and that wasn't true for Tom. And again, I don't know how to say that without making it sound bad on Brady, but like there's a reality to that situation. The Ducks are blowing away everyone this year. I'm going to be glued to the Huskies versus Ducks Saturday. That'll be good. Yeah, because you live in the UP, Kenny. And all you people up there are traitors to the Lions. Most likely something like that, Mike. Or he'll probably just get a team somewhere in Texas. Maybe the Texans. Mike, actually, more than likely, he just moves back down to Texas and they give him a chunk of the Texans. That feels way more likely. The McNairs getting in good with the Mahomeses. I don't know why that feels far more likely to happen. Unless he stays in camp, because the Hunts are also terrible people. You have to consider unless the Chiefs get sold to a new family, then maybe Mahomes is in that group that buys it. But I don't see the Hunts letting somebody break in. But again, I don't think they want the team anymore, to be fair. I think the second they stop winning Super Bowls, they were about to sell the team. And then Mahomes popped up and now they're like, God damn it, we gotta fucking keep this stupid fucking Chiefs. It's kind of like the Chargers, how nobody in the family wants to keep the team, but they also kind of don't want to sell it because it's like, well, every year it's like worth $500 million more. How much should we just wait it out like 5-6 more years, see if it goes up another billion or two, and then sell it so we all get $1 billion? And that's something they probably think about. Let's, what is there, like 5 kids? Wait till it costs $5 billion to buy the Chargers and sell them. It'll be some team like that most likely. Because you got to think you just got to think across the league. Hell no, Kenny. The Thanksgiving curse is over. The Lions aren't wearing their blue. They're not wearing the throwback this year for the first time in like 7 years. Yeah, they decided to wear their blueberries instead of the throwbacks. Lions are all about business this year. They're not fucking around. They looked at everything. They're like, all right, we're a very superstitious team. Yeah, that's the one funniest part about the Lions is they're basically vibes and fucking superstition. Like, damn, that's one hell of a way to propel a team forward. It feels like they're gonna get the Sonics back. I didn't even know they were expanding the NBA. How many teams are they adding? You think Dodgers signing Snell? They let Jack. Maybe. Hopefully the Tigers make a move. For somebody like that. I'm hoping he does. But the problem is the MLB needs to step in and block fucking deferred money. The Dodgers are ruining baseball with that dog shit. I genuinely hate deferred money contracts. Because a rich team like the Dodgers can just sit there and push everything off for 10 years and then it's like a blip in the radar to have to pay everything off. They're going to be paying off almost like $1 billion a year. So, I don't know. I just don't like the immediate effect deferred contracts could have on my sport of baseball. I know unrelated, but I don't know. It seems like Seattle should get the Supersonics back. I feel like another team also recently just lost their team, and I don't remember who it was. But they should also get their team back. I've seen the Commanders might be able to. They're not changing their name. People keep reporting this story wrong. I looked into that. Yeah, we're going to be doing the games, Laura. The afternoon game and then the nighttime game. But I thought I was going to talk about something, but I fucking forgot. What was I just about to talk about before I answered what Laura was talking about? Oh, man. Yeah, it was bullshit. Oh, the Commander stuff. Right. There we go. I remembered. What's up, Donnie? So a lot of people have been saying that they're going to get the team name back. They're not changing the team name. If they were to change it, they wouldn't change it back to Redskins. The new ownership did say that they were going to consider changing the name. That was like 2 years ago, like when they first bought it, and they wanted to see a few things. And most likely they just go with another new name that was a little better. Probably something like Red Wolves, but there is talk with a whole bunch of all sides. So there's like a million sides. There's like several different sides to what's going on with this. Apparently, the logo was never actually the issue with the commander's old name. That was never really. No one ever had a problem with that. Which is like it's a very specific thing. Then again, it was the name issue. The logo and the likeness, that was always fine. That was never a fan. Like that's a good depiction of a guy. That's just a strong looking dude wearing a headdress. You know what I mean? So because of that, they might get the old helmet use back. Damn, Jonathan, that sucks, man. So I think that's a happy medium for people. You'll get the old helmets and logos back. It'll just be your throwback logo. I think that's a way forward with it, right? Like, because again, the logo was never really the issue. Like the iconic, and again, that kind of opens it up for a team change name to kind of think of something that would be like, all right, if Redskins is the issue here, we can go with Red Wolves. Some other kind of native something. Just if you don't have to go with that. Actually, it was native groups that protested and got the names changed, believe it or not. Yeah, most of this is tied to the Cleveland Indians, by the way, or the Cleveland Guardians. 90% of this is literally the Guardians' fault in baseball. I'm telling you, 90% of this issue would have gone away if they'd have gotten rid of Wahoo back in the 70s when native groups were like, hey, we don't really mind the use of like our mascots and stuff like that and our team names being used. But could you not use that fucking shitty ass logo, please? And yeah, that's crazy. All my family hated. We're very happy that shit got changed. And I'm a quarter native. My dad's half. My grandma was full blooded. So like, I don't know. Like, I probably know more Native American people, but why? What's offensive about the Chiefs? What's offensive about the Florida State Seminoles, the Central Michigan Chippewas? What's the big difference, man? I'm telling you, there's a difference here. I'm telling you, you'll figure it out what it is. The Blackhawks. Want to know why they don't have to get rid of those? Because they're not using weird racist fucking caricatures, dude. And Redskins was a weird ass fucking word to use too. Trust me, like my dad kind of, my dad has to, I don't know. We don't have to go into that one. Again, that's a shit word, generally. However, a lot of this, again, is completely tied back to that shitty ass Chief Wahoo. Had Cleveland worked with the native groups that have been protesting them since the 1970s. By the way, go ahead and look into it. Go look up the 1970s. Go look up the Cleveland Indians name protesting and figure out what it was about. You'll figure out those began in the 1970s by native groups. They protested every single opening game, every single opening day until they got rid of Chief Wahoo. And then because the fact that the team just wouldn't, they just kind of told them to go fuck themselves for like 40 years, they pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed till they changed the team name. Yeah, all they literally had to do was change the logo. They'd be still the Cleveland Indians. You'd probably still have the Washington Redskins. I'm telling you, like that issue, like if you follow the timeline, the Redskins issue almost becomes like it starts to bubble up alongside this Indians one. I'm telling you, they're like almost like weirdly connected at the hip. Those two are uniquely tied together because I think it's a similar group of natives that protested it. I think it might be the same group. And again, their success in Cleveland, ultimately, they figured out how to get Washington to change the name. What they did was they went, all right, so they're not going to listen to us. So they went after the stadium sponsors, and the stadium sponsors went, fuck that. And then that's the stadium sponsors usually are the ones that call up the team and go, we're pulling all of our money out. Change the team name. And that's exactly what happened. FedEx made a call to the fucking Washington Redskins and went, yeah, we're not called FedEx Field anymore unless you change the team name. And then immediately they were the Washington football team overnight. Just like that. They're like, we're changing the team name. And that's how you change a team's name. You threaten the stadium sponsors. And that's what they figured out from Cleveland. Again, when they figured out how to get Cleveland, they ran right over to them fucking, you know what I mean? It all happens like the same time. They figured out how to like pull sponsors and fuck with people. That's how they got Wahoo, by the way, pulled. It was to be more specific. I think Cleveland, the Guardians name change came a little later. However, but the Wahoo was a sponsor threatening situation, and that's what they used on Washington. And then they're like, "Oh, we could just do that with team names too." Again, I don't think it's a good idea to change team names. However, like, there was a ways to avoid both of the names being changed. Maybe not the Redskins one. That maybe was probably never going. That was going to be an uphill battle the whole way. And it probably, again, using the iconography, finding a slightly better word, I think you're fine. Even you can literally go with like Blackhawks, like Red Wolves. Like, to me, there's no big deal with like going from Redskin to Red Wolves. What's lost there? Genuinely, like, they keep the fucking they keep the Redskin logo guy. They get a secondary logo of a wolf. Like, genuinely, I don't see the problem with like the Red Wolves. Again, if it's about honoring Native Americans, why not just use a different name, like a slightly different Native American like themed name? That way you could keep your Redskin helmet. You keep the Hail to the Red HTTR shit. Like, the whole thing was like beautifully set up to just take like a name like Red Wolves. You could have bought it for like 50 grand. That's all the guy wanted. That's the funniest part about the whole thing. I think Red Wolves was the name they were going to use, and then they found out that some fucking prick bought it. Because again, remember, they started like leaking out Red Wolf stuff, like all these like weird big like NFL Twitter stuff were like leaking out Red Wolves designs and like merchandise, and everybody was like, I remember it was like a big deal because I was like, I can't believe I caught it. I can't believe I fucking called what the name was going to be. Because again, as soon as like I heard that they were changing the team name, I was like, oh, they're going to go Red Wolves. Because again, like, it just, that name caught on, and everybody was on the Red, dude. Nobody would care that the Redskins changed their name to the Red Wolves. Nobody would care. They'd call the people still crying about it crybabies. They'd be like, dude, so shut up. It'd be like, oh my gosh. Like, oh no, they changed it from Redskin to Red Wolf. You know what I mean? Like imagine crying about that. But no. They went with the worst fucking possible choice in Commanders. You know what that guarantees? That just opens the door for people to, like, you know what I mean? To be like, and they should have never changed it. It's like, yep, I agree. They should just go back to Redskins if they're going to be gay about it. That's what and again, Downey, and I do understand that. I genuinely do. That's why I keep saying, like, there has to be a way to, like, honor them without. Yeah, again, it's the fucking Commanders being a shitty team name. If it was Red Wolves, everybody would be fine with it. Because again, it still honors the natives. It honors the native culture around the area. Again, it's one of them things where it's like, man, if they had gotten the name right, it wouldn't be a problem. Do you know why most Cleveland Indians fans don't really care that they changed the baseball team name? They're a little annoyed. But I genuinely don't think they give a shit. If you ask a hardcore Guardians fan or Indians fan, they don't care. They like their team name. They're like, it's actually a pretty good name. Like, yeah, it is. Guardians is a good baseball name. Objectively, that is a fine baseball name. And again, it fits the like, people of Cleveland understand what the name means because they're the Guardian City. Again, like the whole theme, they nailed the new name. Like if you get the name change right, you're gonna have a couple years of people being weird and shitty, and it's like being kind of like, oh, we're the India, you know what I mean, whatever. But like, I feel so bad for the team name on that one because it's like, man, you should have just got rid of Wahoo, man. You could have got rid of that guy in 2000, and no one would ever care that you're called the Indians. That fucking guy got you though. Again, if you look at, and every time I've told someone to look into the history or shown someone the history of the Cleveland Guardians thing, they go, it's been going on since the 70s. And they go, you know what? Yeah, because again, they think what happened with the Cleveland Indians was they got swept up in like 2014, 2016 cancel culture shit, not knowing that has been an ongoing fucking fight between Native American groups and the Cleveland Indians ownership since the 70s. I'm not even joking. It's like, if you look it up, it's a 1970s is when Native groups began protesting Wahoo. The name wasn't ever really an issue till the late 2000s when they just wouldn't change the mascot. And then I'm pretty sure them idiots popped into the World Series wearing them fucking stupid hats. And then they didn't wear them again the next season. That was the end of Wahoo. So I'm pretty sure they were wearing them in the World Series, and that's when everybody went, ooh, yeah, let's get rid of them. What the fuck are those hats? Again, what sucks is because it's like, damn, that was a good fucking logo when I was a kid too. I used to love that logo. Now I'm older, I'm like, yeah, that's a crazy looking logo. Ooh. I don't think it's supposed to have giant lips. Why does he got big old Indian? I don't know. Are big old Indian lips a thing? Like, let's look at this guy. Hold on a minute. Again, it's Indians. It's crazy. Got a big old Indian guy nose, big old triangle eyes, a big old Indian guy smile. It's this feels crazy with red ass. Like, if the eyes were smaller, I think it would be fine. I think it's the crazy triangle eyes. They could have just gone with that, by the way. Like, why didn't I don't understand why they have something like this. Or something like this. With like a C right there. Do you know how hard that shit would have went on a baseball hat? You guys gotta admit, if the Cleveland Indians had this as a logo, do you think anybody would have cared that they were called the Cleveland Indians? Or like some shit like this as a logo? That shit would go so hard. But for some reason, they had to stick around with that Mickey Mouse character guy. Oh, no, the Cleveland Indians one? Oh, yeah, dude, it's terrible. Dude, that shit was crazy. Yeah, that's why they changed it, and they had to change their team name to go. Why do you think people have been protesting that since the 70s? That's the catapult issue for the Redskins. That fucking logo that the Indians used is the whole culprit behind this whole thing. It's just like they figured out how to get rid of Wahoo, so they aimed their fucking Super Ray at the Redskins, and they went, gotcha, pow, and they fired that shit right at FedEx, and FedEx went, whoa, and then they stopped funding the stadium until they changed it. And then Dan Snyder went, fuck, they finally got me. And he went, yeah, I'm about my money. Yeah, we're now the football team. And that sucked. Well, the football team was actually pretty good, like Mike said. I genuinely don't think it's a good idea to change team names, but those two teams fucked up. They shit their pants for some reason, in a way that they didn't need to. Especially Cleveland. Cleveland, really, I don't understand how they did that. Like, it's just like, dog, just sit at the table with these people and design an Indian logo. Conflate the KC logo and the tomahawk chop to justify the names of the others. Yeah, no, we don't even. That's not even the same. That shit's done out of respect. I've never met a Native American who doesn't think the Chiefs like that shit's pretty cool looking. They're like, damn, that's pretty cool that they respect us like that. Yeah, that's a little different. It's like college sports using the mascots. There's a level of respect that a lot of those places follow. And again, you can do that. It's not a problem. Just have some respect. That's all them people ask for. Is like just show them a little bit of respect, and they're like, hell yeah, use our shit. Like hell yeah, we're warriors. You should want to be like us on like in a competitive game. You know what I mean? Like those, not like they hate it. They're not offended by it. It's just like, why do weird fucking names and weird logos? They have some of the coolest iconography in the Americas, and we're like, yeah, let's just draw like a fucking cartoon guy. It's just like, again, it's almost just like laziness. Again, you could have shit like this, like this, like this. All of this is infinitely better and cooler on a fucking hat than this fucking guy. You know what I mean? Cleveland Indians. And they got rid of being able to have C's like this too. That's the saddest part, with like C's tied with like feathered caps. It's like, God, you guys, they really shit the bed. Because they wanted to have their 1980s at their 1800s ass logo with their cross. Oh yeah, by the way, the Indian used to be cross-eyed. They changed, at least they did do some editing, and they made him looking in one direction instead of one guy looked this way and the other one looked that way, and he looked even crazier. Dude, yeah, Mike, yeah, it's insanity. Like this as a logo. I don't know. I like. Why'd they have to go with the gay one and ruin the team name? Yeah, and they had to go with like the goofy one. It's just like, you could have worked with the tribes. Like you're like on native land in Erie. What the talk to the people. They probably like, hey, we'll show you some cool stuff. You don't got to use that weird one. They're like, no, go away. Yeah, I don't know. If I was an owner, I'd be fine. I'd change my shit every like 10 years. I'd be like, all right, new logo time. Time to make some money. And eventually they'd catch on and stop doing it. But like for the first 3 times I get away with that shit and then maybe I die, I'd be like, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I'd be the worst team owner ever, because again, I may even change the team name every 5 years just because I get bored of calling it the same name every time. But I'd pretend it was like woke cancel culture. I'd be like, well, the woke cancels won again. They're making me change my team name from the hippopotamuses to the snails. Like, why do they care? Wait, what? I'm so confused. Why do they care about that? They say it's offensive to hippopotamus and hippopotamus Americans. They're I'm being what's it called when you're pretending like I'm a victim. They're silencing me. I speak too much government truth or something. See, we'd have more people on my YouTube channel if the government wasn't suppressing me. Yeah, I'm fucking around. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. But I do expose too many truths about everything. Well, you know, the only two people I think that actually did get canceled was Alex Jones and DaBaby. I feel like everyone else didn't really ever get canceled. Unless they got put in jail, I suppose. But like, really, it just seems like them two guys were the only people who actually wound up getting canceled. I can't think of anyone who else lost in that shit. Kind of Aziz Ansari. He kind of died, but he wasn't that funny anyway. Yeah, that's a little different. Like some other people. Yeah, but he lost everything. He truly did get canceled. He had like $1 billion empire and it's gone now. And then DaBaby, he said some crazy shit on a stage and his career ended. It's just like, oh yeah, we're done with this fucking guy. And they were done with that fucking guy. He still makes good music. It's just no one cares. It's just like, man, that was fucked up. It's like, damn, DaBaby, I don't know how you did that. You were beloved. I don't think there's anything he's apologized several times. That's the funniest part. Everyone's just like, no, DaBaby, there's no coming back from what you did. Yeah, they took out DaBaby. Can't believe it. They canceled DaBaby. Then you look up what he said and you're like, oh no, he went over. Okay, that's a line too far. Like, even people who weren't cancel culture people were like, you know what, that I kind of get that one. You know what, fuck that guy. That's how you know people, even like the anti-cancel culture people, didn't come running to his defense. They're like, well, what did he say that was so oh. All right, let's see. I'll show you. He was saying some crazy he was saying some crazy shit about AIDS. Let's see, what was he saying? If you didn't show up today with HIV, AIDS, any of them deadly STDs, that'll make you die in 2 or 3 weeks. Put your cell phone lighter up. Fellas, if you ain't sucking dick in the parking lot, put your cell phone up. He just was going on. I mean, it's some crazy shit. He was crashing out. He was basically just kind of mocking AIDS people for some reason. Yeah, he took the step too far. You know how when Vontez Burfict hit Antonio Brown, everybody was like, oh, you gotta go. And he was out of the league. He had his Vontez Burfict moment where it's like, you can get away with a lot. Except for that right there. You can't get away with that one. Yeah, and people just kind of went, well, all right, we'll move on from this DaBaby fella. And then, of course, Alex Jones went a little bit crazy on his conspiracies, which led to some harassment for some families. And a judge went, nah, fuck him. That sucks. That really does suck. You think he would have ran a smarter defense of himself than what his fucking team did? Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll bounce back. He's an entertaining enough guy that he'll be able to make the money back. I'm not worried for him about that. It's just it's like, man, the one conspiracy you just didn't need to touch. You know what I mean? If he could take it all back, he'd probably just been like, we're not going to talk about Sandy Hook. That's a very tragic situation. Like, if he, like, could you imagine if he just said that and like everything would be different? He probably sits there and goes, I should have just never talked about it. Like, I don't have to touch everything. Why'd I touch that one? Yeah, I wouldn't go after affluent white people either, dumbass. Like if you would have went after them poor kids down in Texas, nothing shit wouldn't have happened. They wouldn't have been able to sue you. You'd have been fine. But no, you went after like people who live in Connecticut. Why would you do that in like what looks to be a very wealthy area? Man, you know them people got money and nothing but vengeance in their minds. And you're the guy who basically killed their kids now. Good luck. Yeah, he'd have gotten it. Like he didn't need to do that shit. It's like, what are you doing, dude? And like he was a respectable guy to a lot of people, a little bit of a conspiracy kook, but people kind of did like him. Like most people did like Alex Jones, even if it was kind of like they were like, oh, he's kind of a silly, harmless guy. Again, there was the second he said that, he like normies were like, what a fucking disgusting person. Like, you know what I mean? Like there was a massive shift on the way people view him, and even still, people are like, that guy sucks. And again, he used to be hilarious. People used to really like Alex Jones. People still do like him, but the problem is, he was. I don't even know how to describe it. The trajectory he was on felt like it was unstoppable. Then he did that for some reason. Your sons are beating the Nets. Hell yes, Seth. Then he did some other shit that just led to problems and more problems and more problems. You think there would have been a smarter approach by Alex? His defensive, like, well, I told him not to harass families. I don't know who that is. I only know of Alex Jones because yeah, you know, everyone pretty much knows who Alex Jones is. He's got a son named Owen. One of them like anti-America guys. Yeah, I don't like them dudes. A lot of the guys in Alex Jones's circle hate America and everything it like is about. They want to institute some like weird fucking like emperor shit with like Donald Trump, where we don't have like a real country anymore. It's just kind of like the United States ran by Trump. I know who his employees are. Most of his employees think that, by the way. They think Trump should just rule the country with an authoritarian bent and then let his sons rule it after him. Yeah, fuck them people. They should be in prison for treason or be kicked out of our country. Don't like how anti-American them people are. And they're anti-American. They want a different version of this country to be here that is completely against the Constitution. Anti-American, so fuck them. I'm glad they lost everything. Genuinely, it couldn't have happened to a better group of people. Like, it's like, damn, that's awesome who that happened to. Hopefully they didn't burn all their money and they don't end up destitute. I hate people who hate this country. Don't care what side you're on. If you hate this country, I hate you too. That's all. That'd be pretty funny. I think Chink would win, though. I don't know who would win that, because they're both getting up there. They're almost both too old, aren't they? What are they, both mid-50s? Chink maybe 60s? They might be too old, and Alex may be young enough to where he'd beat him up anyway. You know what I mean? I think there's like a weird age gap where Alex is still like in a somewhat respectable age range, whereas like Chink is like like just old enough where I don't think he could physically beat Alex up. But like if it was like 10 years ago, maybe. Cause what is that guy like? What is Chank like? Fucking 6'2"? Kind of built like Hassan. I think Chank's a little older. But just is aging better because he's Turkish and they age different. Isn't that wild that him and Hassan are uncle and nephew? Like, wow, that's pretty crazy. I don't know. There wasn't a ton. Like, I'm excited for football tomorrow. We're gonna have some fun streams, I think, like usual. Hopefully, during people's Thanksgiving days, they're able to pop in and say what's up. I think we can. A lot of people are saying we're going to beat the Colts this week. So I'm hoping they're right. You know, I think the Dolphins are trash, right? I would actually bet my money on them winning. This week, I have a feeling that the Packers are going to win just because it'd be funny. You're in the playoffs, so you could lose Lamb. Fair enough, fair enough. Especially if it's fantasy playoffs, then yeah, you're definitely going to need it. A lot of, I don't know, you just, Mike, to me, the big issue for that game is always, as always, it comes down to the weather that's going to be in Green Bay. That was funny. I don't know. Well, we're down to 3 people, it says, so I'm guessing the stream's just about finished. That was about an hour 20. That was a pretty good stream. Storyline, imagine if he overcomes the huddle. True. But I don't know, Mike. I'm pretty sure Miami's going to lose that game because it's going to be like 19 degrees with a wind chill. Oh, we had a good chat though, Donnie. I'm sorry I'm leaving a little earlier than you might expect, but sorry, it's about, you know, we have a good hour and a half in. Won ones, lost ones. Yeah. He's not. And again, the Miami offense tends to fall apart. Green Bay's defense is pretty good. Yeah, we'll be live twice tomorrow, though. We'll be live for the whole Lions game. And we'll be live for the Maine Dolphins and the Green Bay Packers. You know, I've been thinking, like, it would be kind of fun to play on like Saturday if nobody's got shit going on. We could do like a game night where we play a game like Uno, like on Steam together with a bunch of people and just see how that goes. I think that'd be pretty funny. It's Friday we can't do that mainly because of football, and I'm not streaming a whole bunch. Also, mainly, Donnie, I'm just running out of shit to talk about. We talked about a lot of stuff right at the beginning of the stream. We was having some good chats. We kind of went really hard on the Daniel Jones stuff for a while. Otherwise, we'd probably be able to talk about that. But I'm like, I talked about that for like 30 minutes. You want to know what's weird? No, you're good. Something I have noticed. A lot of people are saying the Giants are retarded for letting Saquon Barkley go. But like when you go look at like yards and everything, it's like, well, the Giants have only rushed for 100 less yards than Barkley. Like, yeah, but he has more yards than their whole running as a team. It's like, yeah, but they didn't have to pay like what, 10, 11, 12 million dollars for running back, and they replaced him with all but 100 yards to go. It's like 1,280 yards to like 1,360 for a Saquon for the Giants. Isn't that crazy? Like they like completely replaced him, and no one has given the Giants any credit for that. They're like, yeah, we're good. We replaced him. We're fine. Like, I'm not wrong, right? Am I, or am I completely wrong in my analysis of the way that looks? Yeah, and Barkley was constantly getting hurt for the Giants. So again, they replaced him. They barely lost any of the production. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, they didn't really miss anything. What's up, Fat? What's up, Ben? In hindsight, I don't think it matters that they let him go. I think, looking down the road, I don't think this move means much for the Giants having lost him. Because again, all they'd have is 100 more rushing yards and like 3 more rushing touchdowns. Is that worth keeping him for $12 million? I don't think so. I don't think keeping him would change anything. They'd have 100 more rush yards and 3 more touchdowns. Would that result in maybe 1 more win? 2 more wins? Yeah, like it's a neutral. It's almost a neutral nothing. Yeah. Well, and the Daniel Jones contract wasn't what let Saquon go. Saquon wanted too much money, and the Giants were like, we could probably just replace this this production with like 2 running backs, and they did. Like, they replaced it. They're like 100 yards and like 3 or 4 touchdowns short. And I don't think a $40 million contract was that big of a deal for the Giants. In my opinion, it just wasn't. I don't even know if it was a small deal for them building their team. 40 million isn't that much money. It's just not. Especially when 90% of that team is rookies anyway. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, cool. For the majority of this contract anyway, the team is rookies and no one's really getting paid outside of Daniel. They could have afforded Barkley, but what's the point? Again, especially when they've completely proven that they have no reason to re-sign him. Then that's kind of a dumb thing to say. They should have just not paid him, is the correct statement. I don't think it's a good idea to trade a quarterback that looks like they have taken off and become a good quarterback. I don't think that's good team building at all. Him going like this for his career trajectory and then going like that, that's kind of, that's just how it goes sometimes. But like, he took the 3rd year step and everything, became a good quarterback, and then the very next year turned back into dog shit. Like, technically, Daniel Jones was like the perfect trajectory of shit. But like, after that year Daniel had, you don't pay him. You don't pay Daniel after one. Again, you have to kind of do this right. They should have waited a year to pay him. Yeah, they have a ton of them, John. I was thinking about Uno. Uno is pretty cheap though. Daniel played good for like 2022 as well. And again, the technical development was there for everybody, but the problem was it just bottomed out after a year. Yeah, Barkley was smart. It was good. Yeah, they also won a playoff game with Daniel Jones. Yeah, it is. It is, Mike. And I'm pretty sure I might even have it. If not, it's like $5. Plus, you can't get cheated on virtual Uno. I'll stay alive for another like 20 minutes. Till 10. I'll do till 10 tonight, and then I'm going to bounce. So that gives us a good 20 more minutes. Make sure you guys are dropping likes, helping the stream out. We have all of 2 people in here tonight. Don't you guys like it when YouTube just decides to randomly be like, and we're just going to lie about how many people are here? Which is like 2. I'm sure there's at least 4 to 5. In what? Oh, how am I thinking about the playoffs? Let's take a peek. Let me see. My predictions, I don't even remember what they were. The Commanders being kind of a mirage makes sense. The Vikings, I feel like this is the start where they start coming apart. The Falcons maybe are done. They'll probably won't be in this much longer. Seems like these are the only 2 teams to worry about in the NFC. 1 and the 2. Apparently, you're not allowed to do that, Donnie, unless you're playing spicy. He might, Mike. That's going to be the issue. So I don't know. I'm looking at this. I see the Cardinals winding up making it somehow. I see the Bucks winning the division in the end. These 2 teams, I don't see the Rams or 49ers getting over it. I think they're pretty well cooked. In the AFC, I'm worried about Houston falling apart. I don't think I like the Broncos finishing strong. I like the way the Dolphins look lately, and I think these 2 teams wind up flipping, but I genuinely think the AFC is correct. It's got all the teams it needs except for maybe the Texans losing the division in the end, but I kind of doubt it. Plus, like, the Steelers and Ravens could flip-flop. It'd be kind of funny if the Ravens lost again, because I think they'd be out of the playoffs almost, or very close, and Miami would be much closer to being in. Yeah, the Texans keep shitting the bed. They might be choking. I don't know what's up with the Houston. They're kind of just not playing their best ball this year. I think the Bills are going to beat them in the playoffs if they have to go up against each other. Yeah, Houston's a mess. They'll be fine next year, though. Van, look at this shit. What does this tell you about the Patriots? Everyone's like, the Patriots need wide receivers. Patriots need wide receivers. I tell everyone they're wrong. I tell them to look at my graph. Look at the chart. We're ranked 2 on pass protection ratings. We got a 2 out of 100. I don't even know how that's mathematically possible. We may have the most historically bad offensive line, maybe ever. People are out here telling me we got to draft some fucking Travis Hunter. If I hear one more thing, yeah, the next worst is 13. It goes 2, 13, 14, 28, 28. Then it's kind of normal. To be in the bottom 3 is terrible. If I keep hearing some shit about some fucking Travis Hunter when we already got Travis Hunter and Pop Douglas, we don't need that shit. Also, if I keep seeing people say we should draft N'Keal Harry 2.0 out of Arizona, so went to the same fucking school as the guy. I don't know why people are doing that. Some 6'5" guy who's slow as dog shit that makes cool contested catches. Wow, I've heard that before. His name was N'Keal Harry and he sucked a bag of dicks. Keep that shit far away from my football team. Thank you very much. Blah. Oh, he went to Arizona? Yeah, cool. So did the last one we drafted with that fucking description. No thanks. Trash ass school. Is there any receivers out of Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson? That's probably the only places I'm interested in. Did they come from LSU too? I guess that's good. If they come from one of them schools, I'm interested in taking a shot. Our best young receiver is possibly Kayshon Boutte from LSU. Pop Douglas from the School of Hard Knocks. I hear that's where Ven's from. Ven, how are you feeling about your team tomorrow? I'm thinking you guys should win the game. However, if it's not really bad weather, Miami's been really good lately. They looked pretty good last week. They were kicking the shit out of us. And I know the Patriots are kind of like the standard in the league, but like they really took one to us. Yeah, no TC, no, just nobody from dog shit schools that aren't receiver schools. It's like it's fine to just take guys who go to receiver schools. I'm kind of wishing that like we could call Brad Holmes up and like we could just get one freebie. Be like, hey, well, who's the receiver you guys would take? Like, doesn't have to be a first rounder. So we can get an idea of what receivers might look like. Oh yeah, not really. I think Caleb Williams is the issue there for the Bears in this one. One of the things the Lions do particularly well on defense is get enormous amounts of pressure, and that causes like rush play, bad play from the quarterback. I think that'll be amplified because of Caleb Williams' tendency to hold the ball, run around, and kind of like he gives into pressure very easy. So it'll be the Lions kind of feasting on that. Their secondary is really good. And Caleb tends to have a few overthrows. Specifically, I would imagine that Branch and Jerry Jacobs or Kirby Joseph have big games this tomorrow. They have Terry and Arnold back. They're missing Carlton Davis, though. Primetime games tomorrow and this weekend suck except for Dolphins-Packers. Lions-Bears is usually a pretty solid game. Usually really close. Fun division games. Pretty much, Mike. Yeah. Because we need to draft another corner, too. There's also a corner I wouldn't mind drafting. I think out of the University of Michigan, they have a very good young corner. If they drafted him, I would be completely fine. Because then we have the best young corner duo in football. With, I think his name is Will Johnson and Gonzalez. I could live with that. If we did that, okay, I can live with that. That's the only other thing besides tackle I would be okay with. Because I really want him on the Patriots. Nobody could ever throw outside on the Patriots ever the fuck again. Blech. No. Bad corner, can't cover. NFL receivers are going to make mincemeat out of this dude. A lot of the things I see him do, it's because receivers don't run good routes. Like, I seen a thing where he is covering Travis's, and it's like, dude, if that receiver had read an option a little bit better, like instead of like running out and being like tackled and the ball kind of being pushed out of his hand, like the guy could have made the catch, but shit got fucking weird. If he'd have like cut, because the way Travis was running ahead of him, if that guy had cut up field, dude, that is a free touchdown pass. And like NFL receivers will see that Travis is making those kind of weird reads. I hope he turns into a Charles Woodson type of player, but I don't think Travis is worth the draft pick at all. Like even a little bit. I think he's not going to be as good as people think. I wouldn't be either. Tank Bowl tomorrow. Bears. I think you guys will lose the Tank Bowl tomorrow. That one guy. Sign Higgins and draft the CB and all the tackles. Yep. Yeah, I think you can get away with that, but I think it'd be better to draft the tackle in the first. Yeah. I don't think he'll be mid. I just don't think he'll be what we like. He'll be a good player, but I don't think he's going to be as exciting. Like, I think that Ashton Jeanty guy should probably win the Heisman. He's just like an actual menace, dude. That running back for Boise State, like that should be the Heisman winner. Like that guy's a fucking just a full like. I wouldn't be surprised if we find out he's 74 years old. Just give it to him. Just give him the award. Let him be a high draft pick. We're all going to be real sick when he somehow winds up on the Lions, right? For no reason. Somehow he's going to be a Detroit Lion, and we're all going to fucking hate it. Wait a minute. How? Lions are going to trade up to like the 3rd pick overall because the Patriots suck ass. And it's going to be like, with the 3rd pick, the Detroit Lions select it's Ashton Jeanty, running back, Boise. And everyone's going to go, yeah, I'm done liking the Detroit Lions. Ven, I'm literally saying it would be annoying. Like, I'm saying this would be a bad thing because you know that bitch-ass team in Detroit is sitting there going, wouldn't it be really funny if we could get that running back? No, they just run 3 running backs. Dude, you don't understand. They just do 3 running backs. Why not? They don't care. They just have that big old guy back there. Most likely he's going to the Cowboys. As good as the Lions are, they still need to end their Thanksgiving drought. Yeah, they should. Hopefully the switch of the jerseys will be good. If we still had Dave Gettleman, that GT kid would be a Giant. Giants are also a possibility to get him. I just thought about it. Yeah, Giants could get him. But now you guys need a quarterback, so you're probably out of the pick. I don't know where GT's going. He could go to the Titans. Titans tend to go for players like that. And it would make kind of a lot of sense. Replace Derrick Henry. I'm sure GT would like to go to Houston or Nashville. It's a nice place. Gives Will Levis a monster back to work with. I don't know. I think it makes sense. Like he's going to go to a team like that where it just makes sense. Maybe the Jaguars too. To have like a scoot and boosh, like a scoot and bash with ETN. Chargers are not going to be picking low enough to get. You guys. He's going to be like a top 10 pick, like a top 5 pick. He's not going to last. Yeah, he's not going to last that long. That's the problem. We could say all these teams, like, yeah, he'd be awesome on the Lions, the Packers, the Bears, the Vikings, every good team, the Chiefs. But like the odds are, if you're not a top 5 pick, it's like almost like probably not worth talking about. I'm not even going to give it top 10. I don't think it lasts that long, to be honest. This is kind of a shitty draft class. By the way, this is a dog shit quarterback class. There's my hot take. I know every year you hear me say these words, but how often have I been wrong? I don't think I said that about last year's class. This year's classes was pretty good. I even said that. I was like, this seems like a pretty good class. I was a bit wrong on Bo Nix. I thought he was going to suck dick, but he seems to be pretty good. That's why it's best to get a top 2 or 3 draft pick, then trade back 3 or 4 spots and still get your guy. Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much, Mike, yeah. Yeah, it was except Nix. I didn't like Bo Nix. And McCarthy. I'm pretty good about it. I'll miss a guy here or two. Like I was really high on Trey Lance. I thought he was going to be pretty good, but that just didn't turn out to be right. But I do have a pretty good eye for. I go against what people say mostly, and I think most people agree. It's like, well, there's Quinn Ewers, there's Shadur Sanders, and everybody else is a flaming bag of shit. That was kind of the truth about this year's class, like this coming class. I like Quinn Ewers. He has everything you would want to see from an NFL QB. If he can, I don't know why people. It seems like it's taken him a while to get here, though. I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like it. Feels like he's been in college for a decade. Like I wasn't even born when that guy entered college. Like that's a problem. Yeah, Mike wanted the New England Ducks. Oh yeah, there is that Cam Ward guy, I guess, that people are talking about. I'm not that. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, we had to try to convince ourselves on Mac. I figured Mac would be good right away, but I didn't know what the long term with him was. Again, immediate NFL ready, and that was obvious. But apparently, it's a weak draft tackle. Like it's a weak draft class this year. Next year's is really good. Like the year after is potentially really good. It's just this coming up class kind of sucks. Except for probably Detroit. They'll draft like fucking 3 All-Pros somehow. Everyone else will get like nobody. Like literally to be a draft class that every other player except 6 guys were good and they all went to Detroit. That happened, by the way, very recently for the Lions. If you think I'm being facetious, it's like, nah, I think it was the draft with like Jamar Chase. And the Lions got Penei Sewell. Outside of like the top 10, that entire class is so fucking bad, except for the players the Lions drafted. I'm not kidding. It's like the top 10, pretty solid, great. Like the first round was okay. Everything after that turns to complete dog shit. I'm talking like there's just nobody. Nobody came out of that draft class except like the top 15 players, and then like everybody the Lions picked. I think that they picked up like St. Brown that year. Sewell. I think they drafted Ifewanu. There's like a few other players where it was just like, how did they get all the only good players in that year? I think we drafted fucking Cole Strange or some shit. It was just, well, Lions are out here winning. We're like, Cole Strange. Lions are like, that guy just disappeared. He's hurt apparently, like really bad. He's got a broken left vibe. Oh, this stream ended up doing pretty good. We're almost at 65 views. That's pretty good for a hangout stream. Look at that, Ven. You came through and the stream came to life. You must have brought all your Venonites. I've been looking for a reason to use the word Venonite for a long time, and I'm glad I just got to use it. He shouldn't have been. He shouldn't have been, Donnie. We made a terrible draft. Yeah, but I think Cole is expected to become the new center, which honestly, we probably could. Dude, honestly, if Cole can start playing, we could really use him. Our line fucking sucks. I have that effect. I should have been so much lower on the Niners. Then you came through and said that you thought they were going to suck this year. And I feel I talked you right out of that shit. Me too, Mike. We don't need him at center because Andrews is there. It's just like, just put his ass at guard. Like maybe next year put him at center, but for now, well, to be fair, I guess if they're going to use him as May's center, they should probably start using him now and just slide Andrews over to guard, which would be fine. Since the season's lost anyway, and fucking David's retiring at the end of the season. I'll wait if he's going to get his best at left guard, he's going to get beat at center. Yeah, that's true. Taking on defensive tackles. Oh, 100% Andrews is hanging it up, which is why I think they want to move. Again, I think Cole can play center because he's got the right design. No, because I don't know what you gain by firing him. You know what I mean? Especially because this is a weird year for them. It's like, do you put the bad on him or on everybody being hurt? Yeah, no, it's a debate, but it's like one of them things where it's like, is it his fault they're having a bad year? Not necessarily, no. However, there is this weird history of just everything going to shit with this guy pretty, like every like 2 or 3 years. It just blows up. And then they come back to it. And do you start to wonder if he's just not going to be the guy to win the Super Bowl there? Again, these Shanahans take a little while to get going in the NFL. His dad took forever to win them Super Bowls. So he's a lot like his dad, so. Yeah, the depth is terrible. Yeah, I agree, Ven. And that's, yep. They focus way too much on defense and the starters on offense and the starters on defense. They don't care for depth, which is a very odd way to build a team. Whereas the opposite is true with Detroit, right? Like Detroit is technically missing so many key important players. The fact that they're still 10-1 and just beating the dog shit out of everybody with like everybody hurt. Like that's amazing the way that they've built that football team. That's where they should get credit for. It's like, look at the depth. Like that's insane how well they built that team. Like you can look at the Lions and be like, that's how you build a football team. Before you would look at the Niners and say that. What's even stupider is their defense keeps changing coordinators and it's making the Niners 100%. I don't know what they're doing. 20. I think he's eligible to start getting paid this offseason. They'll probably pay him. Just pay him like $30 million. I'm pretty sure he's good. I don't think you got to pay that guy a lot of money. Maybe like 900,000. What? If you want to pay him early, just give him 30 mil. See if he'll take it. If he's smart, he'll take like the fucking 3-year, $30 million extension that they're probably going to offer him. Or a 3-year, $90 million extension. Sorry. Well, I think I think we're at a natural ending spot, everybody. I did another till 10 o'clock. I did an extra big chunk for the Vens and for the Donnies because I'm a good guy. I'm a good ass fucking dude. Everybody should tell me I'm a good ass guy right now. Go ahead. I'll wait. This is what I do with students who don't answer questions. I just sit there. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. By the way, you don't have to do that. I'm just fucking around. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Yeah, it's just like everyone just goes, suck our ass, Rob. And everyone just leaves. I'd be like, well, that didn't go the way that I thought that was going to go. We will be live twice tomorrow. So if you're a Packers fan and you want to come in during the game, you know. Mike's like, yeah, you're not the greatest guy, man. You're kind of a piece of shit. I'll see you, Donnie. We'll be live for the Chicago and the Lions game. We'll be live at like right around 12:30. And then we'll be live around 8:20 for the two games. And we'll be live Friday. Saturday, we'll probably play some Uno or something. I'm going to probably talk about it. We'll figure it out. And then Sunday, we'll be live for the Patriots and Colts. And then what's the PM game? Oh, shit. San Francisco. Well, yeah, we'll be live for at least halftime of that game. I think the Bills win in quite the beatdown, personally. But by the way, if Miami, then if your team can win that game, and Kenny, if your team can win that game, and then Miami loses, I believe Buffalo, yeah, if Miami loses and the Bills win, I think the Bills clinched their division already, which is hilarious to think about. Yeah, good luck to your Packers. I hope you guys pull that off just to end Miami's season for me personally. So need you to do that for me. I think that would be very good for me. It'd be good for my mental health heading into the holidays. I know, and then we can take care of Minnesota for you guys. Yeah, especially since Ven, they're not wearing their throwbacks. Finally, they finally figured out that if you keep losing in a uniform, you should stop wearing it. So this year, for the first time in like probably 8 years, ironically, they're wearing just their normal uniforms. They're wearing their blueberries. So they're just not going to wear the fucking cursed fucking Thanksgiving uniforms. They have the option to wear them, but they're choosing not to. Yep. I think it's a smart move. All right, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Y'all take it easy. Have a happy Thanksgiving if I don't see you tomorrow. Be safe out there. It's going to be cold and going to start snowing soon for parts of where I'm at. So should be a lot of fun. Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. If not, we'll see you when I can. Like the Patriots, we're just, it is what it is. It is what it is. Not much we can do about our team. We can blame the liberals. I blame the libs. Goddamn Democrats ruined the Patriots. Now that Trump's back in office, like, maybe we'll win the Super Bowl. How many did we get under Trump? 2? At least? Did we get 2 under Trump? At least 1. Trump is a Patriots fan. We may be back, boys. Mike, we may get a Super Bowl out of the next 4 years. Is it worth it? If the Lions and Patriots can get a Super Bowl in the next 4 or 5 years, we can excuse this whole Trump presidency. But only if my 2 teams benefit. I need 2 Super Bowls. You're getting snow too. I need Drake May to be a champion, and I need Jared Goff to be a champion, though. If those 2 things happen, we made things great again. Truly, truly, truly. Otherwise, there's, fuck this guy. Useless. So, but ever since Joe Biden came into office, my team's been one of the worst teams in the league. Coincidence? No. It's redistributing my team's success to all the loser teams like Kansas City, Detroit, Buffalo, Miami. Pretty much all the teams that weren't good for when the Patriots were good. All right, I'm out of here, everyone. Have a great night. As always, it's go Lions, go Tigers, and of course, it's always go Patriots. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night. Happy Thanksgiving, and I'll